Hi there, Jody and Dart here with another YouTube video for you. As you can probably tell, the subject of this video is going to be an Xbox game. I recently managed to reclaim some space in my house after the birth of our son a couple of years ago, and I've reinstalled now my Xbox, GameCube and Mega Drive, so sort of retro gaming is back on the agenda full time a bit for me now, and I've purchased quite a lot of Xbox games in anticipation of this time over the last couple of years, simply because they're so cheap at the moment, and this game, like many others, cost me a mere 99 pence. And it is Cold Fear, as you can see, from Ubisoft. What attracted me to this game in particular was the setting, really. Instead of the usual sort of sci-fi trappings, it's set on board a old Russian freighter which is deserted in the middle of the ocean. A new player, Coast Guard, sent to investigate. So let's have a look, and we'll have a see what Cold Fear is like. Now, unfortunately, I did try to play this game in the without knowing what was happening in it, but I had to consult the manual for a bit of instruction on the controls, and it gives away quite a lot of the plot, which is a bit of a shame. Probably could have done without that, but nevertheless, the damage was done. This is a little cutscene that you get at the beginning. It concerns a team that's sent in before you, so it's nothing to do with your character at this stage. Very cinematic. These lights here remind me of the film Predator 2 when they're in the slaughterhouse. There's a few nice cinematic effects here. See the shadows there as I run past there. There's obviously something nasty on board this deserted, or so-called deserted ship. The evocative settings obviously help with the weather conditions as well. Shit's hitting the fan already, something's attacking these guys. There's their boss. Oh, I think they're all dead, mate. No, nobody's alive, mate. That other asset is you, US Coast Guard Tom Hansen.
Yeah, I hear you. This is the USS Raven. We arrived in the vicinity of the vessel.
In Sushant, as all the best heroes are, of course. And he's on his way. Music's pretty good as well. Very impressed with the music in it. Very cinematic. There he is, the all-American hero. And off we go. As usual, the music comes to a standstill whenever the game loads, which is a bit of a shame. So Tom's working in a team as well. Obviously, he's got all his other guys on the ship as well. As you'd expect, he can do all sorts of things. He can pick up stuff as well. We've got a little note about ammunition conservation, which you can read.
This place is creeping me out. Where is everyone?
This is in, as you can see, a third-person view, and he can switch into first-person view to fire his gun very easily, and then move around using the right stick.
We're gonna have to head back.
Or look around using the right stick. Lots of waves crashing around. Tom can run, but he uses up resistance, energy bar, which is there.
What's that smell? These old Russian whalers all stink to high heaven.
As you can hear, his other team members are soon encountering some problems. Let's have a look up here, something going on up here. It's a flare. I think this is one of the guys from the old... Yeah, so we can go over to him, press the B button for interaction, and he's got some pistol ammo. He won't be needing it anymore. Now, this is one of the first problems that came to me with the game. As you can see, I'm pointing towards the screen now, so I press forward to go forward, and then suddenly it flips to a different view, almost like the Resident Evil games really. It's just a little bit more advanced obviously, but it's almost like another pre-rendered scene. Now if I press forward, obviously I will walk straight into this, so the controls don't really meld very well when this sort of thing happens, which is a shame because there's quite a lot of nice touches in this game. So we press B to open the door, music stops again. There's some quite nice cinematic touches in this game. If we walk forward a little bit, if you could watch the window, yeah, there's a bit of lightning and you see a monster in the background, which is an old horror film staple. But if we go outside again, there's nothing there. Now I've played this game a fair bit, and I think I'm just starting to get used to the controls a little bit, but after having played games such as Resident Evil 4, which seems so intuitive, it just doesn't seem to work very well. The controls and the segueing between the different screens just seems to be really clunky. So you're supposed to walk around and investigate the ship. Avoiding the fires. There's a door here, but that's probably locked.
I've got to find that code.
Yep. Need to find some sort of code. Back up here again now. It also uses this resistance bar, as I say, which you have to be careful about regulating, because if you use too much energy up, all of a sudden you find yourself in the middle of a load of bad guys and not having the energy to run away. So here we go. We've got to build up the resistance now because we've got to make a run for it. And as you can see, that guy in front of us, he's not got to time his run and get swept away. There he goes. Got a bit of shelter here. Lots of blood everywhere.
I better read the inscription so that I don't get lost. See how much of my Russian I still remember.
Fortunately, Tom reads Russian or understands Russian, which seems very convenient to me. So you shoot that panel. You can now enter this door. And Tom will come across this first resistance. I presume we're supposed to be thinking that they're surrounded by you, the Coast Guard, but of course they're not talking about the Coast Guard. And for those of you with an interest in Russian, shat, shat, shat means shit, shit, shit in Russian. As with most bad guys in the early part of games, they're terrible shots. So there's a few doors here, so we'll just have a look around, see what's going on. As well as the controls, there's a few other issues as well. If you go into third person mode while you're near something, Tom holds his gun up like that, which is very irritating when you need to look where you're going in the dark. There's all sorts of shit going on here, as you can see. Health pack for our man. So we run that way, and then we run into the wall, of course, because suddenly it changes. I think it's a real shame, this game, because it had a lot of potential. The atmosphere is pretty good. The plot, whilst it basically just turns into a sort of zombie plot, which is very familiar, unfortunately the controls let it down an awful lot. There's a few simplistic puzzles in it, but nothing too taxing for any semi-experienced gamer. Such as this, turning the valve to engage the sprinkler system. Lots of blood everywhere. It's pretty clear nasty things have gone on. Just show you now one example of the cheap thrills the game puts on you. Yep, it's the old light going out trick. Most recently used, of course, on Doom 3. You might be able to hear there my controllers vibrating, the heartbeat effect. It was quite traumatic the first time it happened to me, but when you realise that there's actually nothing that's going to attack you, it's not quite the same. So there's lots of the freighter to explore, and then, as I said, there's an ore rig, and there's all sorts of a plot that comes out about genetic mutations and such forth. Pretty standard stuff actually in the end. The only thing that Cold Fear stands out a little bit for is its location, and unfortunately the controls do kind of hamper it to such an extent. It's hard to imagine I'm going to persevere a bit, which is a bit of a shame. So I think I'll be putting it to one side and moving on to something else pretty shortly. So there you go, there's Cold Fear. Looks good, good atmosphere, but unfortunately doesn't play great, which is what it's all about really. My first Xbox game review on YouTube, and I'll no doubt post another one soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.